Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting-edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adopters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed a thing. Can I get an audio check, please? And I'll do a couple of hellos. And who have we got? Linda Hunter is in from Down Under. Steve Cray, what about you, chum? The Budgie Burger, what about you? Glad to have you aboard. Emma G, the Wonderful, is in. Slim, glad to have you. Julie Parker. Yes, Al Mac and Al Mac's here because he's in the studio. Bree, what about you? Packers in, what about you, chum? Anglo-Saxon, evening, brother. Maximilius, let's do it. Certainly will. Rory Herbert, good to see you, sir. And Emma G is telling me that the audio is a proper strong one. And I've got any comments. Toffee's in. What about you, chum? 77 brigades here, so we'll all be kept nice and safe. Edmund 184. And we've got a sheepdog. Keep everything under control. We're all good. And I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping, which is a bit... Sam G, what about you, chum? Glad to have you aboard. Yes, the housekeeping is not as well organised as normal because I have not heard anything from Sansom. Michael C is lurking. Sansom normally does the housekeeping and keeps us up to date with who all is streaming, where and when, about what. He's currently on the missing list. This is a guess. He's away from home. He does everything on his laptop. He doesn't have stuff on his phone. So generally, whenever we don't hear from him for a day or two, that's what it is. No need to panic, people. He'll turn up very shortly. There's Hasdak again. What about you, chum? Was there somebody else I seen? No, I think I've said hello to everybody. So I'm going to presume Rags and Jack London will stream tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock at a guess. No idea who they're going to have on as a guest. Martin W has just jumped in. Glad to see you. John Davison, keep an eye for him out on, I think it's Tuesday and Sunday. Sunday and Friday, as Melanie feeds up to it. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, a big shout out to Dave's Waffle House. 8 o'clock, or is it half 8? Somebody correct me in the chat. Each weeknight. It's a good place to have a bit of crack and chill out. So, and if you're in the Waffle House, also go to the Vampire. And if you're part of that waffle crew, please hold on. Breaking news. Toffee spoke to Sansom yesterday. They thought Bonnie Ladd was streaming, but Bonnie was busy. and is doing it tomorrow instead. There we go. That's the mystery solved. We're all good. Emma G's keeping me right. Dave's Waffle House is 8:30. Come on, 42. I should know this. You know I'm a little bit disorganized, Emma. Right. So, if you're about that Waffle House, Dave's Empire thing, you should know by now that there's a Telegram channel, the Secret Waffle House. So get on that in Telegram. Get on it, doggone it. With that said and done, Al Mac, what about you, Sean?
Good evening. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm doing good.
Brilliant. Hi, everyone in the chat as well. I was just about to say, actually, I thought that Bonnie Lab was streaming tonight, and I thought that was probably why that Sensen wasn't, and I was surprised to see that Bonnie Lad wasn't. But yeah, all a bit of a cock up. I tell you, numbers are going up a bit. Have you got more subscribers since Simon Sideways sent his crew over?
I would say I've got 100 to 150 subscribers since then.
Well, you know what that means, don't you? If that hits that 1,000, you promised you'd be doing a reveal.
Well, first of all, the whole way I do the reveal has changed. I can 100% promise you that
goalposts are widened, have they?
Yeah, the goalposts have well and truly shifted. The day after I retire, and my employers can no longer take away the pension I've worked fucking 35 years for, that's whenever I'll do my reveal.
Yeah, I know. That's about another 25 years away, isn't it?
It's not as long as you would think.
Nah.
I'm an old codger.
Yeah.
But
I think we're about the same age, mate.
I'll be totally honest with you. If they were to turn around to me and say, we don't like what you've said online and you're sacked, and all it meant was I had to try to find another job or whatnot, I would be royally pissed off, but I would do it and would take it on the chin. But the 35 years of pension that they can take off me like that, that's a whole different fucking can of worms. So that's why I'll not be doing any reveal until that's totally secure.
Okay, no worries. Is my mic level okay, by the way?
Perfect.
Set up, man. Cool.
Well,
yes.
Now, as regular viewers will know, all Max on, that normally means there's something coming up. We have been the busy boys.
We have.
Yep.
We've been at it again. At it.
Yes. And there's a little bit of serendipity because everything for this song came together at the same time. Oh, I'm a J saying there's enough creepy crawlies on this stream tonight with you opening a can of worms. Yeah. I think she's talking about
more.
I think she's talking about. Oh yes, yeah. There's more creepy crawlies to come. It turned out that this project finished up about the same time, at the same time as the Davos conference.
Which, a bit of luck, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very lucky. I will say that everything had been done. The music was all sorted. It came back to me for video. And whenever you hear and see this thing, you'll understand why getting the video right took a bit of time, because it wasn't the easiest thing to just capture images for, because it's a little bit out there. But we got there, and then whenever I heard the Davos was on, it did give me a bit of a kick up the hole, and I got on it this week and got the last of it finished. I think
perfect timing.
I think we're coming on 37 viewers. I think we'll play the song now before we talk too much more about it. What do you think?
Okay. Well, you can if you want. Yeah. That's, I'm sure it's going to get more than one airing tonight. I just wanted before you do though, I just wanted to say that after the last, I mean, the first song that we did as a collaboration was really sort of quite uplifting, and that was really cool. And the Ballad of Ballard and all that, it was a grim subject, and I think we handled it well, and the video was gave the right atmosphere. I thought that this track needs to be a bit up tempo and just far less serious, and it's just it's a bit of a piss take. Now we know that everyone's going to find that soon, but we know that the easy bugs sort of memes and tropes have been around quite a while, and I think, and we're not hearing so much about it from these fuckers over there at Davos. So I'm wondering what Steve Cray, all right, mate. So I'm wondering whether they sort of spunk their junk too early with it all, and just everyone sort of thought, what the fuck are these people, on about?
Oh,
and it needs taking the piss out of, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you why they're not on about eating the bugs anymore, because there's already bugs in the flour.
Yeah, that is very true. It's locust flour, isn't it? They're making bread out of locust flour. And shit.
They're making flour out of crushed up locusts. They've got other stuff going on that they're making paste out of that to replace butter. They're at all this. Basically, whenever it came out about eating bugs at the start, that was to put the idea in, and they've been quietly behind the scenes. Dawn, Sansom's fine. It was just a mix-up with streaming times. He thought Bonnie Lab was going to stream, so
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
old Toffee, mate. Yeah, cheers. That's my Belgian Malinois. His name's Django. He's a real character, but trust me, I've got quite a sophisticated alarm system in this house. We haven't used that for 6 years. Basically, we don't need an alarm system in this house now. He's a lovely dog. He's a smashing dog. Bonkers, like all Belgian Malinois are, but yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah. So that's basically where we're at, right? We'll fire this up.
Yeah, let's hope the audio's good. Did you do the same thing with the audio last time?
Yes, I've downloaded the file, so it's coming straight through the thing. It's not through it's not through StreamYard.
Okay, a bit of drum and bass for you people. Yeah, the start will do.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me so wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices. You cook the hedgehog right? It tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I can even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Eating your bugs. You're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle car trade. Eat the bugs, live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy. Oh, nothing and be happy. I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs, live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy. Oh, nothing to be happy. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man, you got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you. Motherfucker.
This is the fourth industrial revolution. We have another opportunity for the great reset. Technology is a critical weapon. History is truly at a turning point. We can shape a better world, and we will reglobalize to make it a better place. So will all earth, and so will be and so will eat the bugs.
You haven't got me talking. Why is United Nations in charge of Stonehenge? Keeping me away from the stones? That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to the point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Stonehenge, new games of fucking Penang Mountain Range, now all owned by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the bombing you did, so we hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We'll hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
Fuck it. There you go, people.
Brilliant. Woodlander, cheers, mate. Lovely. I did warn Woodlander. I know you sent it to him as well, but I did warn him about 2 or 3 weeks ago that he was going to get an honourable mention in this tune. And yeah. That's a mad one. That's a mad one. It's funny because when I started doing the music for this, I was thinking, I'll do a bit drum and bassy, and I can just imagine some 22-year-old sort of producer, sort of drum and bass producer, hearing that and going, "All right, Grandad, you think that's drum and bass, do you? You're right, mate." You know, jog on. But it was good fun, and again, it's as quirky as fuck. And I know that everything that we've done has been on the weird side, and not everything I do is I do the normal music as well. But I thought that was really cool. It's probably my favourite tune so far.
I see this as the combination of the 3 songs. I think each one's got progressively better, and this one's a pinnacle.
Yeah, and I think that the way you sort of approached it vocally, and I only sort of did a little bit of editing, so I wanted some of your words to sit on the beat, some of them not. So it seems more. What's the what I'm trying to think of? A little bit. I can't think of the word really, but you know what I mean. It's a bit more gelled together. I think as a song overall, you know, as a track overall.
Yeah, it comes together very well as a song, and then the and then the question became what images to put to it.
I mean, my first thought was because I think we were still Jungle was still on Celebrity Get Me Out of It, and I just thought, you know, with Farage in there and everybody, I thought you've got to have some Jungle footage in there, and anything else is just gravy after that. As long as we get a bit of these people fucking eating bugs, and that is that Bear Grylls? Is it Bear Grylls?
Yes,
He looks
that's
quite
Bear
young in
Grylls.
that. Mate, that is so disgusting. The first time I've seen it, I was watching Breakfast, and
Oh fuck!
yeah, I was eating some porridge actually at the time.
Oh
Which,
fuck!
and when he spat, you know, because you're supposed to, when I was Witchetty Grubs, you're supposed to bite the head off, aren't you? And
Yeah,
spit that out, then eat the rest of the thing. Not that I'm an expert on eating bugs,
yeah.
by the way.
Well,
But it's fucking disgusting, man.
why I wanted Bear Grylls in is because everybody's quite up with the idea that I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, is there to normalize this shit and put it into the public that, yeah, for years we've known you can't eat bugs. You know, well, having said that, they eat one fucking witchy grub a year. It's hardly going to affect their system whenever you start putting that crap in the bread that you eat
Yeah.
every day. It
But
becomes
I
different.
did think it might have been. I did suspect it might have been introducing the idea on ITV, you know, one of the top
Yeah,
watched ITV shows. I don't know whether it was, you know, whether it's just purely entertainment. But yeah, I did suspect a little bit when we started
yeah,
with when we
but
first heard the Davos.
but the other thing is, Bear Grylls has got a totally different audience, and they use Bear Grylls to put forward the notion that a different group of people that you can't eat bugs, that you can't fucking eat fucking foul, disgusting shit. You can live on it, right? And but it's being normalized in several different prongs. You know, so I wanted to make sure that I got him in. And by the way,
Yeah.
that Bear Grylls clip is copyright claimed.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's allowed to be on YouTube. Right? There's a couple of different types that you get a thing where it says there was a copyright issue, but the owner allows it to be on YouTube. So I'm fine with that because there's no action taken. The only thing that they would do is if it was monetized, they would
get the money.
they would go after the money, but I ain't ever monetizing this, so I don't need to worry.
No. And another important thing I think about the video was that today, looking at it through today's eyes, the bit where it's stripping the skin in the rabbit and just butchering the rabbit there, being expertly done, by the way. If anyone looks at that today and think, oh no, that's horrible. We used to do this as kids back in the day. We used to go ferreting, and someone's dad or older brother would always skin the rabbits. My mum used to cook rabbit. You know, it's ain't you know your bunnies that are living in your run. It's a wild, you know, living up in the hills. We've got hills near us. We used to go rabbiting as kids, and I think it just illustrated. Look, if they want to cut this out completely or take, you know, meat off the table, which is what they want to do, there are options, and I think that's what you were sort of illustrating with the words and the videos, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's there. It's all got very fucking. It seems to be getting very dark very quickly. The amount of stuff that they're putting into the shops that pretends to be meat but is not meat, pretends to be milk but is made from fucking almonds.
Do you know actually that almond milk is about 80% soy? It's not even
Yeah.
almond. It's not
Oh,
even almond. You got to watch that, mate. The old soy.
well, of course it is, because how the fuck do you milk an almond?
Do you know, I've tried a few times and I didn't get very far. Can I just before we move away from the rabbits, I'll just tell you one a quick little story. Now, my missus, those was here 2 or 3 weeks ago, when my girlfriend Ali C was on.
Yep.
We were both pretty drunk. We come on for the crack, but she's a real animal lover. She's just keep rabbits as kids. I think we did as well. But right, so we're on holiday on the island of Ischia in the Amalfi Coast in Italy, and we were staying. It was like half board, so it was like dinner and breakfast, and it was a fantastic hotel. It was like a four-star hotel. The food was brilliant. So in the evening meals, there was only about more Ali C. I say, yeah, she's gone to bed, I'm afraid, Emma G. Oh no, I was hoping that she'd bump in. And right, she doesn't like eating seafood or anything like that. She won't eat prawns. And on the menu, each night there were just 3 things that you could choose, because it was all it changed every day. It was, it wasn't like one of these hotels where there's 32 bloody things to choose from and it's all shit. It was really high quality food. Anyway, so it was about the second day we were there, and we saw the menu, and I think it was something like prawns or some kind of seafood. Then it might have been clams in linguine or something like that. And she just couldn't bear that. And the last thing on the menu was rabbit. And I said, look, you've eaten rabbit before. She said, oh, but I don't want to eat any bunnies. I said, but come on, you've eaten rabbits before when I was, when you're a kid. And at the end of the day, it tastes like chicken. She goes, all right, okay, all right. I said, see, it's going to be lovely. It's going to be lovely. The food is great. So she ordered the rabbit, sort of, a bit of a protest, but ordered rabbit. She had to order something. But let me tell you, when it came out, man, it was. So I think there might have been a couple of sort of fillets of rabbit meat, breast meat, or something like that. But right in the middle of the plate, and it's all sort of nouvelle cuisine. In the middle of the plate was the rib cage, right? The fucking rib cage, right? And the giblets were sort of presented in the middle of this rib cage. She saw that, and that was it. She nearly barfed on the spot. Couldn't eat a thing. Oh, I was pissing myself.
Oh God, yeah, that would be a bit of a shock. And as Emma would tell you, I'm quite the picky eater. She said yum yum. I have a very, very small repertoire of things that I eat.
Yeah,
And,
so does Ali C. Yeah, so does she. Yeah.
Yeah, but that I don't think I think
Can you oh, sorry, mate.
I think I could have pushed the rib cage and the giblets to the side, not the other stuff.
Yeah. No, Dawn, I don't remember, Dawn. I certainly didn't touch the rib cage. It's like an upturned rib cage with the giblets in it. I don't think I did eat it, because whatever I ordered, I probably had the clam vongole, myself, which is one of my favourite things. So, yeah, I was sound. But as long as you can finish a whole oyster fry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, mate.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yes. Scoff fries down. Here, Toffee's mentioned something. Toffee says, I discovered something disturbing recently. Those shitty tinned hot dogs. All of his dogs refused to eat one. There probably isn't any meat in them.
There's zero meat in them things. It's arseholes and eyelids, maybe, but that's as close as you get to any.
See,
sort of
here's the thing: if you label something a beef burger, it has to be 51% beef, right? Because you've put the word beef on it. If you call it a hamburger, it drops down to like 30% meat cow, because it's not a beef burger, it's not a hamburger. If you call
Yeah.
it a value hamburger, it drops
Value.
down to about 10% meat.
Sweepings off the floor.
Right. No, but this is because a hamburger and a beef burger, you're expecting to get beef or cow, right?
Yeah.
Now, see, whenever they call something a hot dog, nobody is expecting them to have a dog in there. So therefore, you've no name connection with what's inside the tin, and you can indeed legally make those hot dogs with 0% meat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I knew someone that used to work in a. Well, who was it? There was a video in there about how they made it. Anyway, let's not get into that. What's this? Did you? Oh, go on, mate. Go on.
There's one on Bitchute called "How the Sausage is Made," and don't look that one up.
Yeah, that's something completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's I think is it Dangerfield has brought up a few times as Dangerfield.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's about transgenderism.
Yeah. Making other hot dogs. What's this about you not eating cheese? You don't eat cheese?
I don't eat raw cheese.
Oh, cheese.
Yeah.
We had a baked camembert with caramelized onion tonight. Oh, it's lovely. Before the soup.
Well, I don't know if I'll go to cornbar. See, I would like grated cheese that's been put on top of like pasta or something. I'm good with melted cheese on a hamburger, cheese on toast, all that sort of stuff. But if you were to give me like a raw
It's
cheese and
Stilton.
ham,
You wouldn't like Stilton or something like that.
no, there only has one type of cheese, and it's cheddar. Right, and if you were to give me like a cheese and ham sandwich, I'd be like picking the cheese out of that. And the other thing is,
you're a weirdo,
right? And see all those soft cheeses?
Yeah,
I think that they're soft because they haven't finished making the fucking cheese.
yeah, they're made from ricotta and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? Anyway, off the cheese.
Yeah. Oh no, cheese has divided us.
Yeah, oh dear. That's it. I ain't making no more tracks for you, man. Don't eat cheese.
Yeah. I put it down to my upbringing. Grew up in the 70s in Belfast, and Friday we had stew. There was one day we had like sausages and mash. There was another day we had other stuff, but it was all extremely bland food. We didn't have Chinese takeaways in Belfast until I was about 14.
Yeah.
You know,
same here, I think.
Yeah, you know, so I'm very, very, very set in my ways where food's concerned.
Yeah. Oh well, that's all right. Oh, it looks like it might be coming over about second week of June. So
Excellent.
yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. So more about that later. But
Yes.
yeah, just getting back to the track slightly. Now, this is going on an album called Mercury is Rising. It's the second Justice Kane album. It was supposed to be just an EP, like a 5-track EP. But things have obviously changed a little bit since we, did our first track. And JK has put another couple of tracks on. We just finished another one about Orwell, and another one that's been hanging about for about a year. It's going to be very, very quick. So within 3 or 4 weeks, this is going to be released as an album, and so it'll be on Spotify and everywhere like that. So I hope everybody has listened to it there. There's some great tracks on it. It's all different stuff, but it's all pretty based, or it's dissident sort of kind of material. Apart from maybe the Tesla track is more of a historical account about Nikola Tesla, but it's all good.
The next time I play this song this evening, I'm going to nip into YouTube Studio take it off private, get the link, drop the link in the chat, and whenever you watch it off the video, in the description, the first thing that you'll come to is a link to Justice Kane's Spotify.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, nice one, good work. So yeah, that'll be up very, very soon, and I just hope everyone has listened to it. There's some cool stuff on it, but although it's the end of this album, we're definitely going to be moving forward. Yeah, that's right, Slim. It was. I think everyone knows quite a lot about Nikola Tesla's sort of story now, but JK wrote a great tune about it. It's a bit punky sounding. It's like nearly every track on this album sounds completely different. That's one of the cool things about working on this project with him, and on the first album as well. Every track is completely different. But this one, Easy Bugs, is going to be. I'll release that first as a single, and I think on Spotify, I think you can release a single with a video attached to it. So yeah, and I think he's probably going to do a bit more on the promotion of it, because he didn't really promote the other album. I was sort of moved on from it. I was doing loads of other stuff. It's for him to promote, really. But I think I'm probably going to do a bit more promotion with this.
I'll obviously do my thing and do a bit of promotion, push it into places.
Yeah, I think it's riper for this material now as well. More people, the Overton windows just, really widened out. Loads more people talking about stuff that of a dissident nature now, and Normans are being woken up to stuff, and that's why I said when I was on with popped on the Dangerfield calling around the Christmas time, and he was asking how everybody felt about this year coming, and I said I think I'm quite optimistic. Not because this year's going to be good; it's not going to turn over that quick. But I think there's a pendulum swing, and we're going to start to see. A lot depends on what happens in the American elections. The elections over here don't matter one way or the other, do they? It's a waste of time. But the American election definitely can sway things differently. And I know we probably want to get on to talking about the Argentinian president or prime minister, Javier Milei. He I know we can talk about this later, but he did a fantastic speech at Davos this year, and he's not messing about, that guy.
No, he is on quite the crusade. In his first week, he changed a lot. I remember seeing a list of the things that he had changed in his first week, and just said, we're not doing this no more, and it was all the woke shit. So he is a genuine one. Whenever we get to talking about that, some people might question why he's at Davos, and whenever he doesn't agree with them. Well, the simple fact of the matter is this. See, whenever world leaders, governments, companies, educators all come together to discuss the policies for going forward, you've got two choices: be there and disagree with them, or not have your voice heard. And that's why you do get people going to Davos. And a lot of people say, oh, that fucker went to Davos. Before you start pulling people down for going to Davos, first of all, check out whether or not he went there to rip them in the asshole, or he went there to push their agenda, because both sets of people are there. So there you go. The other thing.
Yeah.
The other thing about the song and the video, whenever I started, there was only one thing I knew was going somewhere, which is the picture of Johnny Rambo on.
Yeah. I've forgot to mention him again.
Yeah.
That was just bang on. It's like, yeah, had enough now. You know, people are gonna reach breaking point.
I seen that as a meme around about 2013, 2014. First time I seen that meme was a picture of Rambo. It said at the top, just wait until, and then at the bottom it said the people only want that left alone start to get involved. And
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that was bang on.
Yeah, and I put that meme into a song.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Budgie Burke. Yeah, Budgie Burke reckons there's you can't trust someone that doesn't eat cheese.
Oh, Anglo-Saxon saying that Argentinian guy made a point of going there on a charter flight.
He did. That's true. And the other thing I want to talk about him while we're just talking about him. All we really knew about this guy, he didn't come into probably anyone's radar until he won this election, and everyone saw that crazy clip where he was going, Afuera, and chucking all these things out, the departments he was going to shut down and all this. And he's the Argentinian Trump and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, right, we don't know this guy. We don't know where he's come from. But when you hear the speech, and there's a section of it that he's talking about figures, and this guy has got the receipts for a lot of what he says. He's very bright. He's not. I mean, Trump's bright in another way. This guy is ultra bright. You know, he's very clever. And so it was good to hear him instead of just his more normal sort of meme style. But he's going to be a pain in their ass for some time, I reckon.
Well, the Argentinian people like him. That's
yeah.
That's a big thing. There is a lot of, well, and the other thing is Argentina is moving away from the influence of the West anyway.
Yeah. I know he might not be everyone's guy. I know people are a bit disappointed because he supports, you know, certain states. But you know, you're not going to come across. All I'm interested in, it was translated by AI. That's interesting. Because I was trying to work out the guy's accent. I thought, is he sort of slight German accent? He's sort of like half German, half British accent. But that's interesting, yeah. That makes sense. It's translated by AI. I was hoping we can believe it, what he said.
As regards who he supports, what way did he vote on the United Nations resolution? The last couple of United Nations resolutions. What way did Argentina vote on the
no idea
on the call for a ceasefire? Okay. Because there was very few people that didn't that opposed it, and there was very few people that abstained. I think you're in the like 11 states, and I do not think Argentina was one of them.
No,
you know, so it's hard to know. And again, there's stuff that we're going to find out about the guy as time goes on. But
he's saying all the right things. It's a bit like Vivek Ramaswamy in America. He's saying a lot of the right things. You know, obviously he's pulled out the race now and sort of backing up Trump, and he's obviously going to get some big, a good job in the government. But you know, again, I can't make my mind up about him because I've seen him being interviewed on podcasts and various places online, and again, he's very, very bright guy, and he really does say a lot of the right things. But he's a politician, and you can never quite let go, or never quite just take them for their word, can you? We've just been let down so many times. It's ridiculous.
Right, sorry, just replying the angle there in the chat. Sam Miller in court. Do you know anything about that?
I saw it, and I meant to look into that further. I don't know. Somebody here must know.
What was he in court for?
I don't know. Someone in the chat must know. I did.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere, and I thought, I'm going to look into that, find out what that's all about.
Yeah, and I'll whenever I catch up with it, I'll let you know. I'm sorry, you got me. You got one I don't know anything about.
Yeah, honestly, if someone in the chat knows about what's happened to Sam, it'd be interesting to know.
Who is he?
He's Laura Taylor's husband.
Right.
Right. So yeah, he's part of PA. He runs an area. Yeah. That's pretty based on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's been around for quite a while. But it's probably something to do with a protest or
right.
something going on.
It seems he's in court for putting up stickers.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He can't talk about it until the case is over. Well, to be fair, Emma, 40pedia is still on the go. 40pedia is still on the go. I just don't keep.
You don't know everything, do you? You can't know everything.
I don't follow what Patriotic Alternative are doing or saying. And I've got my reasons for that. One being that I've never once heard them use the phrase Northern Ireland. So they obviously have no interest in my country. So I don't follow them. I've never heard any of I've never heard Mark, Laura, or any of them refer to Northern Ireland. I watched whenever PA started to get big, I watched some of their stuff to see what they were about, and whenever they point blank refused to talk about Northern Ireland and only talk about Ireland, I came to the conclusion that there's no interest in my country, so I don't watch them.
Do you know, I just think that a lot of, you see it all the time, that the ignorance of the geography and politics of Northern Ireland is ridiculous. It's
but
over here.
See with the length of time that the guy has been in politics. If he's not using the term Northern Ireland, it's a choice.
Right. I bet you if I don't know, but I bet if you asked,
I sent him an email and didn't get a reply.
Oh yeah.
Right. But Mark Collette has been in politics. He's been a professional politician for a very long time, and if he's not using the term Northern Ireland, it's a choice.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against PA. That's fine. They can work away doing their thing. I think their community building is great, but I don't think he's any interest in my country, so I'm not having any interest in him.
Yeah. It's just I agree with you, Toffee, as well. I haven't been sort of keeping up too much about what they're up to. And I haven't looked at anything on Telegram about PA for some time. And I know what you mean. It's just there's enough other crazy stuff to laugh at or get you down. And it's a tough one, isn't it? The whole nationalism question, especially when people don't know where the nation starts and ends.
Yeah, well, it's. I'm very forgiving of people who aren't around politics, new to it, just getting involved in stuff. I'm very forgiving of them because the education in mainland UK is not good.
No. Well, look,
But
I think we were brought up. I think we're roughly the same age, so we would have been sort of kids in the 70s. And if you're in England, and I'm sure it was the same in Scotland and Wales, every night there was stuff about Belfast and Northern Ireland and the Troubles. It was on the news constantly. So everybody our age, I would have thought, knew or had pretty good knowledge of the nuances of who was fighting who, what Northern Ireland was, what the term Ulster. I just can't believe anyone of our age didn't, even if you just weren't too interested. It was so in your face, and there were people being killed, and there was, the IRA bombs over here. I just don't understand. If you don't understand, like you pointed out, people using the term the North of Ireland, and I know that winds you right up, and say, "Oh, that's Donegal, mate. That's Donegal."
Yeah, but my problem with that is this is a political tool that's being used in Ireland and in Northern Ireland of changing the names of things. And it's changing the names of things, putting up Gaelic street signs, the de-Britishification of Northern Ireland. And everybody knows that's happening. Everybody knows that there are terms that the term Northern Ireland is not used by people for political reasons, and they go to the north of Ireland, the northern part of the island of Ireland.
Yeah.
Right.
It's meaningless, isn't it? Unless you're talking about Donegal or something like that.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. That it's been eradicated.
They're doing that to make a point that they don't consider Northern Ireland as being a constitutional country. That's why it's being done, and I don't be on board with anybody that is using the other side's language. Right?
No, totally
right.
Get you.
We need to get off this subject.
Yeah, I know it is. And that's my fault this time. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got. Yes, the other bits of the song video, the end bit, I was actually looking for like an old black and white bit of film of somebody, running down a hill with a big net looking for trying to catch butterflies, but I couldn't find something like that. And then I came across that guy catching them with his hand.
Yeah. That's so funny. I thought, okay, what was it? 2030 hunting or something like that. Was it 2030 hunting? And I thought, what's going? Oh, I hope he's not going to eat that. I hope he's not going to eat that butterfly. Yeah, that was really good.
To be fair, if you find that extended clip, he does not eat that butterfly. No butterflies were harmed in the making of this video, but yeah, I thought that was quite a good one to use. And the other thing was, I was trying to, was trying to figure out how to visualize 15-minute cities, and it's everybody in our circles know what we're talking about, restriction of movement, all that type of stuff. But so that's where I went with the robots delivering stuff. I thought that sort of fitted.
So right, have you seen them in the flesh? You haven't got them over there, have you?
I haven't seen one.
No. The only place I've seen them is in Milton Keynes, because you know, Milton Keynes sort of built in the 70s and 80s, and it was built with cycle lanes, paths, and all that. It's
Is a lot of it not underground?
there's a lot of sort of walkways and stuff like that. Not unless you're talking about something a bit more conspiratorial that I don't know about.
No,
like a secret underground city.
I thought that there was like, you know, a whole lot of it was underneath like a big tunnel and inside like a big tunnel type thing. No,
It might look like that in the shopping centre.
all right,
No, but it's a lot of underpasses and stuff like that.
yeah,
So where I live, I mean, those little delivery robots wouldn't last a second. They would not last a second. They'd just be squashed and stolen. You know, people would be using them as roller skates or something like that. They're just mad.
What happens if people tip them on their sides?
Well, that's it. They're done, aren't they? They'd be like a tortoise. You turn a tortoise over and it's done.
Yeah.
That's it. It would just keep rolling until the battery runs out. But that was. I just wondered where that clip, where you got that clip from. I wondered if it was from Milton Keynes.
It said, I think it said delivery robots traffic jam. I put that off YouTube.
It's quite funny. It rolled over. I was hoping it was going to turn over completely.
Yeah.
It's probably saying about no butterflies were harmed in the making of that. I was going to say it's probably. I have used loops and stuff like that before when creating a track, but I could probably safely say that was the first track that I've ever produced where no musical instruments were harmed during the making of that track. It was all right. That I did send some stuff out to a keyboard guy. He did some keyboards on it. I put some keyboards on it, and JK put some keyboards on it as well. But other than that, no bass guitars or drums or any real instruments were touched in any way on the mic. It was a bit of quite a lot of loops used, which I know when we did the Dangerfield. What's the Scrubstock too? And I was on there, wasn't I? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
If you watched it.
Well, that's where this all started.
Of course it did, yeah. Of course it did.
Yep. That you were on Scrubstock and you were talking about producing music and stuff and whatnot. Then I got you on to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about the collaborations you were doing, problems that the lady who did
Jodie Kay.
Kay.
She had trouble getting an album mastered.
Yes,
because if she went down to an recording studio or someone does online mastering, and bearing in mind, I don't know if it's totally true that all musicians are real sort of lefty progressive types. It's probably not true, but they're certainly overrepresented in with that group.
Well,
and
the ones that get pushed to prominence are
absolutely, and there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But
so that's why I offered, to do it, because that's what you're up against. Everything's just harder if you have a sort of more dissonant view or conspiratorial or whatever. It's much harder to get things out there, harder to get things
and
promoted.
You've also got to be careful with who you work with, because you've got one choice. There's a possibility that they'll go, okay, I don't like this stuff, I don't like what these words are, I'm going to charge a premium for that, or I'm not going to do as good work on it.
Or start do it and start dissing it within sort of musical circles or whatever.
And that's what that conversation's what caused Harmony, Melody, and Rhyme.
It did. But when I was on there, so quite a few people had put forward tracks that I made, and and I knew that it was made from loops and stuff like that. And I know a lot of stuff that Sensum does. You use loops and bits of audio from Spitfire audio and stuff like that. And I mentioned it a couple of times, and I said, okay, but it's, you know, I recognised what it was, and just said, now I wasn't dissing it in any way, because you can make some great tracks. A lot of drum and bass type stuff is loops anyway. So I wasn't dissing it, but it's probably the first time that that I've done something that was nearly all loops. So yeah, so, like I say, no fingers were worn away making that track. But it does sound pretty cool, doesn't it? It builds up nicely, and I've found some really, really cool sounds on it. So yeah, I was happy with the way it come out.
Oh, I'm blown away with how it came out. And the other thing is, you'd send me a file and I'd load it up, put it on the good speaker, because I've learned that from you. Whenever you're going to listen to something, put it on the better speaker that you have and get the proper sound.
Yeah.
And each time, as it was, you know, going through its different iterations, and thinking, "Fuck, that's amazing," you know.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? I think when everyone hears it again, there's a lot of different things going on there, a lot of different sounds. You know, I love the laughing. That's our keyboard player, keyboard guy, Tim. He sent us down with that's insane laughing on it, and when I heard that, I thought that's brilliant. It just, I think he didn't really know what it was about, and when I sent him the track, you weren't on it at the time, but I did tell him what it was going to be about, and the brief was that I wanted it. It's some weird, but don't take it too seriously. This is going to be a little bit of a piss take of the subject matter. So there's a real sort of sarcastic laughing sound, you know, which I thought was really cool. And there's a few different layers in it, and the reason I added some more keyboards to it, and JK added some more keyboards to it, we just wanted to build up that ending part a little bit. So it starts off quite low key with that fast drum beat, but as actually builds up to something after the breakdown. So after the breakdown, you've got the Klaus Schwab bit, and what I love about the way it goes from Klaus Schwab to Bill Gates to Justin Trudeau.
Hitler.
Who was it next? You know, then to Hitler. You know, then to Hitler.
Yeah, Hitler.
That was classic.
No, I think it's Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Hitler, Justin Trudeau, Hitler again. And what I was trying to figure out the optimum way to do that, whether to give them a line each and put more people in or whatever. And whenever I messed about with it and getting the subtitles in, that was splitting it up any more than that, I think would have been problematic because the clips would have become too short. But and my idea was they're all speaking with Klaus Schwab's voice.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
not saying their own words. They're uttering the script they've been given.
Yeah, and in my head, you know, when you got that Klaus Schwab, and with the effects on the voice, it was kind of like one of the Nuremberg rallies or something like that, wasn't it? You know, but I love the clip that you got. That's from that film, wasn't it? So that was perfect for it.
Have talking about that particular bit of thing, have you seen the Mud Floods Hitler film clip?
Don't think so. Why have I heard of that? I've heard that recently.
Yes, right. I know that you've seen, because I'm not breaking new ground, just been talking about it in the chat. But yes, we had the Mud Floods thing with ARPA.
Oh yes.
Right. Well, I did
Right, yeah, our pal's not here, is he? I don't know if he's lurking, but mate, that was that was funny. That was.
Well, there's a Hitler reaction one to that knocking about.
Well, that's right, and the mud floods were with basically the country or the coast changed as the mud came in as it moved.
Get off that subject.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
Right, we're an hour and 5 in. We'll play the track again.
Yeah, I'm about it's just good for having a little puff by the back door. Right. So yeah,
perfect. While this is playing, I'm gonna take it off unless it make it public, and I'm gonna stick the link in, so I can do that while it's playing. Here we go.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. And you will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me so wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices. You cook the hedgehog right? It tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I could even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. They're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle contract. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Oh, nothing and be happy? I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Oh, nothing and be happy? I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man. You got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you, motherfucker.
Fourth Industrial Revolution. We have a window of opportunity for the Great Reset. Technology is a critical weapon. History is truly at a turning point. We can shape a better world, and we will reglobalize to make it
That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to a point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is the United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Stonehenge, New Games, a fucking Perry Mountain Range, now all by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the planning you did, so we hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We'll hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
Fuck it.
No, brilliant. We're getting quite a lot of well, we're getting a few recipes for rabbit and
Yes.
stuff in the chat.
We are.
I just want to say, actually, if anyone's offended by all the fuck it's from 42, he actually only said fuck it once, and I just thought I'm sticking that all over it.
Well,
So
see,
that was
see if
copy
anybody-
and pasted.
I've got a message for anybody that's offended by the swearing out. Well,
Yeah,
fuck it.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something that I want to urge Rags is just then. There's something I want to get onto
Rags.
as well.
right, mate.
UNESCO. UNESCO runs Stonehenge. They I've seen the video there. There's 57 sites that Stonehenge that UNESCO run. Now, every time you see UNESCO, it's United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNESCO is the United Nations, and it is the United Nations that's making the decisions about where and how people can visit Stonehenge, all those other places. Those 57 sites do not include the UNESCO geoparks in the United Kingdom. The Penny Mountains are one. The Moor Mountains is one. There's one at Giant's Causeway that reaches as far down as the fucking Irish Republic. It's huge, where they dictate the rules on who can visit, when they can visit, what they're allowed to do. No more wild camping. And they're getting control of large swaths of land that should be ours to control. I've seen a comment there. Right, hold on. Yep. The RR sites, the one of the lines in the song, that's British heritage, not world heritage. Our government seems to have given away the management of a lot of our very important sites to the outside world, to the United Nations, for some reason.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of that until I heard that your lyrics come back, and probably not a lot of people do. I mean, it's crazy. I don't understand why. Do you know why?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you why. It's called Agenda 2030. Right. UNESCO, that scientific. Need to get that thing back up again. The right education, scientific, and cultural organization. That's what UNESCO is. So, in the push for conservation, what happens is, in order to manage the land better, conserve it better, look after it better, they bring in the experts. And the experts turn out to be the United Nations. So they bring them in to help out. They'll also get grants from the United Nations for management of them, but it comes with a big fuck off rule book. So there, and one of those rules is any camping has to be done on an official campsite, because I remember whenever I was a kid, doing Duke of Edinburgh, so it took us up the Moor Mountains, dropped us off at one car park with our rucksacks and all our kit, and with a walked across the moors that night with a pitched a tent, made some food, slept there that night, got up in the morning, made breakfast, pack everything away, and then walked in another car park and get picked up in the van again. Now, the way the rules are going, that's not going to be allowed. It will be go to a camping site, and as much as organizing around camping sites is a good idea, I think the loss of our access to our land at the behest of the United Nations is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but so basically, in putting it in one word, it's sort of globalism, isn't it?
Yeah, it's globalism, and
yeah,
people. Whenever you tell people that there's an agenda underway for sustainable development, it means get people out of rural areas, get them into cities, put them on, stack the people one on top of the other, and very cramped living conditions, and keep them away from the wildlife, the great outdoors. People go, "You're fucking mad in the head. They would never do that." But yet, with all the people openly state on their website that they want to do that, have now got control of the vast majority of the fucking open areas in not just Great Britain, like they're doing this right across the world.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, which brings us on to really the Woodlander initiative, doesn't it? And it sort of illustrates just how important that is, you know.
Yeah.
Try and claim some land back, you know.
Yes, and in a way that we can use it for what we want to use it for. You know, I don't know. You're now getting rules about what you can and can't do in your own fucking back garden.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think people are just starting to wake up to it, or maybe just starting to wake up to it. And yeah, it's crazy.
I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty clued in to a lot of stuff, and it was only recently that I realized that UNESCO was the United Nations. Because I've heard about UNESCO, I've heard about UNICEF, heard about all that stuff. I knew that they were an organization that was involved in conservation and all that sort of stuff. But it was only relatively recently that I twigged on to that UN at the start of it was United Nations.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not surprised that a lot of people don't realize what's going on, because it was a revelation to me whenever I heard it.
Yeah, and you just wouldn't expect it neither, but when you realise it's not surprising, is it? Not surprising at all. Yeah, Woodlander. Yeah, that's it. No, I bet they don't like it. Yeah, that is really important. What Simon's doing there, and I've joined, and I'm due to put a bit more money into it soon as well. So yes, it's amazing how well that's gone. You know, and I think am I right? Is that 2 bits of land that have now been
I
bought?
I
Is
honestly
that correct?
I honestly don't know.
Well, when
The
Nana's there, he'll tell us. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's
if you
or in the process of being purchased.
yeah, Weedlander, if you want to come on to tell us a bit about that, let me know and I'll drop a link for you. Uh, the other thing I want to say is the idea of you will keep up with the solicitors at the minute. That's fucking excellent, man.
Yeah,
You're doing God's work, chum.
yeah, that is amazing. Such a
Uh,
short time.
the other thing I want to touch on before we get too far on, the idea that you will own nothing. Uh, it's not just that they're going to push you into rent and everything and whatnot. See the way inflation has gone, the way the price of all your basic goods have gone. It's fucking nuts. There are people there fucking it's got to be millions of people who 2 years ago were working a job. They were, I'm not saying they were rich uh, by any stretch of the imagination, but they were doing okay. They could buy their food, pay their rent, pay their mortgage, uh, and not have a lot left over, but they weren't scraping, they weren't scrimping, and just about getting by. And those people still doing that self same job are now fucking struggling just because of the way the price average went. The price of electric, the price of gas, the price of petrol, the price of food, everything. They're just squeezing people out that way. And they yeah,
Yeah, look how they weaponized, the
yeah,
Ukraine
yeah.
invasion,
Oh,
and just everything went up overnight
but
from that, didn't it?
yeah, but here's the thing. Why here, no worries, Weedlander, it was just an offer. Uh but and yes, you are welcome to come on some night. We'll organize one and you can come on and tell us all about the initiative because I am very interested. Uh yeah, but the while they're saying that they can't do anything about the price of electric and gas and whatnot, we have a tariff on it for climate change, right?
Yeah,
And well, actually, do you know what? See this bullshit tariff you've put on for climate change, particularly the one that goes on to stuff for industrial use. You could take that off.
yeah. They could do this
They
overnight.
they could scrap that, right?
Of
But
course,
they
they
don't
could. They
want
could
to.
help people out. No,
And
they've done it.
what I will say to everybody,
Scandalous.
that everybody that hears this is from the UK. If you are on any sort of benefits whatsoever, get on the phone to the Citizens of Face, tell the Citizens of Face I'm on X benefits because if you're on any form of benefit at all, this is the that's the cutoff for this. If you're getting benefits, particularly if you've got kids, get on the phone to Citizens of Face, say blah blah blah. I'm struggling. Give me a referral to the food bank, and go and uh, every 3 days go and get your parcel of food because we have now got this stage where people that have never struggled before, they're doing all the same things. They haven't changed their lifestyle. They haven't started buying lots and lots of stuff. Uh, they're working the same hours and they're now fucking struggling. And the only thing that has been put in place to help anybody is food banks. And get yourself on the phone to the Citizens Face and get yourself into on your food bank and take the stuff, take whatever it is that's being offered. And while you're on with the citizen face, do the checks, make sure that you're claiming everything that you can. Because one of the things that we need to do as a people is the money that we have paid into the system, we need to start getting it back because we fucking need it and it's ours. And if anybody thinks that they've had enough out of the system and they've had all their money back, start getting mine back because I can't. And get involved with your citizens' advice, with whatever assistance there is. If there's food banks, take that. If there's whatever there is going, fucking take it.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good advice. I also noticed the top is talking about like the price of dog food going up.
Yeah.
I hadn't really noticed. So I don't really. Ali does most of the sort of food shopping and stuff like that. I hadn't really noticed, but I would assume you can probably get pet food and stuff like that at food banks as well.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. Yeah, that is good advice. What's that, Martin?
Yep.
Martin's
Yeah,
comment.
well, do you know the only people that can change that? That's us. Because whenever we rock up, they're no longer full of fat Africans. The reason why there's no white people there is because we don't go. Because potato. So please get yourself signed up, and you phone up a citizen face, tell them how many kids you've got, tell them whatever, and tell them that you're on X benefit and you need a referral. And the other thing is, if anybody gets turned down, please email me. And the load of shit that I send down upon them for discrimination will knock people's socks off. But it's time we started to take back out of the system.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's good advice. And people shouldn't be too embarrassed to do it either. If you're struggling, you haven't got enough.
Fuck that shit.
Stuff like that.
See, even if you don't think you're struggling, get yourself down and get it. And the fact that you're going and doing it will help people that are struggling and feel a bit embarrassed about doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. If you're entitled to anything, take what you're entitled to. Regs is saying, yeah, it is. It's 17% of our electricity bill goes to green energy, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more of a percentage. It's a lot more of a percentage for anybody that's doing anything industrial. So your local baker, butcher, whatever, that's having to pay electric bills, because their electric bills are going up, your food goes up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, the sort of commercial electric costs. Even if you're running a cafe or something like that, some small business, it is a lot more than it is for the domestic, and it's shutting pubs down. You know, we've got a local pub close to us. It's one of the last ones left. It shut down for a little while they had a change of ownership. They've done it up a little bit, and I was thinking, I bet it doesn't open up again. I bet it doesn't open up, and thankfully it did. But what I did notice that they had the radiators on in there, because for the last sort of year or so, if you're in sort of winter time, it was really cold in there, and I can understand why. The pub wouldn't be full, you know. So midweek, you know, might have only 6 or 7 people in there in the evening. And they weren't heating the place. They couldn't afford to. It's pisses me off.
Toffee, if you're going for Pip, speak to me before you fill in the form, mate. It turns out that whether or not you actually get Pip has got less to do with whether or not you should get it, less to do with your condition and more about how well you fill in the form. So definitely, Toffee, if you think you're entitled to it, apply for it. Even if you see if you're not entitled to it, the worst thing that they're going to do is say no, you're not entitled to it. You like, they don't come after you for a plan. You get the form, you fill it in, and all that happens is no, declined, or accepted. Here's some money. So, Toffee, yeah, you've got my email, you've got my Telegram, mate. I'll have a chat with you before you fill in the form, or I will go through the really easy thing. If you're filling in any of those forms, you fill in that form on your worst day. The easy example is question: can you make a cup of tea? And your problem is epilepsy. How you answer that is, can I make a cup of tea while I'm having a fit? No. Therefore, the answer to can I make a cup of tea is no. It really is that simple. But what people, particularly people like us, do is, can you make a cup of tea? Yes, but sometimes whenever I'm having a fit, I can't. Right. Well, that goes down as a yes. So therefore, you don't get. So fill in the form as best you can. Anybody wants a bit of help or advice with that, I'm here for that. And don't worry about bothering me, because it doesn't bother me. If I can get, if I can improve somebody's life by spending 20 minutes, half an hour talking about a form, that's a fucking win.
Yeah, bless you, mate. You're a top man. You're a top man, and you've got a record for it as well. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I can't solve anything. I can't solve everything. There's going to be people who come and say, "Can you help me with this?" And I go, "Yeah, no, actually, I can't." But I will give it. I'll give it a hell of a go. And if anybody gets turned down for a food bank, I will raise all sorts of hell about that. There'll be MPs, there'll be members of Parliament, fucking government ministers on that.
See Rag's comment there about the about pubs in the Islamic State. You got certain areas, the pubs are still there, but they're a completely different business, So
Yeah.
yes, very, very true, Rags. Very true.
Yeah, we've got that. No. Let's see. Now we've had that little rant. But I think it's important to know that whenever they say that you will own nothing and be happy, Pakistan 42 helped me, and I think he kind of enjoyed it. Well, what I will say is, I don't enjoy seeing anybody in a bad situation, but if I can go in and fuck up some politician's day or some civil servant's day and make them actually do their job, I do enjoy that bit of it.
Yeah, now you're talking. Yeah.
Get them to do their job. What I tend to do is make it easier for them to do their job than it is to deal with me. That's that's the general method. And look at the differences between the services that our government say that they're going to provide and the services they actually provide, and say to them, here, you say you provide X, Y, Z, you're only providing X, now where's a Y and Z, and let's be having it done, please.
Yeah, that's it. People got to do what they're supposed to do, and if people just don't realise, I mean, it's myself. I've never claimed any benefit for anything for since I was kid, really. So I've been lucky. The music business has been pretty good to me, and I've got a bit of savings and stuff. But so I've not really touched any of these things, and you just don't realise how difficult it is. Well, people don't even realise what they're entitled to. But some people are very, very aware, and it's interesting, that, isn't it? You know, some people are coached to somehow.
The other thing is, we have people that have never needed help all their life, and just the way the whole situation is going, and it's became very shitty very quickly. And see the people who have been scroungers and have been living off the brew all their life. They don't need any help because they know that system. Or people who have been getting by and doing things all fine by themselves up to now, they 100% need the advice because they've never looked next or near it.
Yeah. Sorry, Poison. Thank you, Linda Hunter. That's very sweet. And by the way, Rags, he has got some nude pictures of Packer, if any of the ladies are interested, in case they're not.
Yeah, you can trust you can trust Packer to turn it to smut. Or sorry, Rags. Sorry, you can trust Rags to turn it to smut.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
No, I don't. But that's you're giving me ideas.
This is getting very degenerate now, isn't it?
Yes. Do you want to look at some of the Davos stuff?
Because there's a couple of bits I think people find interesting if they haven't heard it. I know a lot of people will have seen the Argentinian guy,
right?
But
you sent me a couple of links, or was it one?
The first one is Kevin Roberts, I think, of the
heard each president go get scorched. Right, that one.
Yeah, that's very short. It's only about a minute or two, but he is brilliant. Yep. You listen to this guy; he just rips into it.
Right, I've got it.
I'll have a quick slash. Why are you doing that?
What?
A quick slash.
Right. Okay. All right. Yes. Off you go. Right. Here we go. Has that came up? It has. I need to change that. The theater.
One thing that Davos, you might say, and the people come here stand up for, is liberal democracy.
It's laughable that you would, or anyone would, describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. I'll be candid here because I think I've been invited here to be candid. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. Just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas. The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change. The solutions, the average person know, cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. The fourth, China. The number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. And fifth, as we sit here, another supranational organization, the World Health Organization, is discussing foisting gender ideology upon the global South. These are practices that are under review, if not being rejected, by countries in Northern Europe. The new president, especially if it's President Trump, will, as you like to say, trust the science. He will understand the basic biological reality of manhood and womanhood. And do you know why? Not because of retribution, not because he's a dictator, but because he has the power of the American people behind him. Let me just correct the slight assertion you made there. We want Ukraine to win. We want to see Ukraine win with a lot more help from European allies. I think the United States has a role. Heritage has been clear about this for 2 years now, that there is a world in which we support military aid for Ukraine. Our first obligation in foreign policy is to look at it through the lens of what's best for the American citizen. Joe Biden has done a god-awful job in articulating what that is. The kind of person who will come into the next conservative administration is going to be governed by one principle, and that is destroying the grasp that political elites and unelected technocrats have over the average person. And if I may, I will be candid and say that the agenda that every single member of the administration needs to have is to compile a list of everything that's ever been proposed at the World Economic Forum and object all of them wholesale.
Yeah, he was pretty good, wasn't he? And the first time I heard that, I thought, oh no, what's this about Ukraine? But what it was actually, he was being critical of Europe not doing more. So,
Yeah. Well, he was
yeah.
critical of Europe not doing more and the amount the Americans are spending on it. But
Yeah, you can't argue with that, really. You know,
Right.
not really.
a lot of people will ask, well, why did he turn up at Davos whenever he doesn't agree with him? What happens at Davos, apart from the speeches, the big ones that you get in them clips like that, where they have panels and stuff, you've got politicians from all around the world turning up there. You've got lobby groups from all around the world showing up there. You have business leaders from all around the world showing up there. And if you want to be part of that conversation, you got to go there whether you agree with them or not. And Davos will accept people going there that don't agree with their narrative, because if they only have people there that totally agree with them, they don't get enough people there. But people like that 100% need to be there, because they need to have their 2p's worth in these conversations. Sorry.
Yeah, totally. Actually, Dawn just questioned it. Was he actually there? And I'm not sure, because I wondered that myself, because the logo behind wasn't the usual blue, but whether he might just be talking in a studio when they put the World Economic Forum logo behind him.
Yeah.
So you're right.
He said in the thing. He said in the thing at Davos.
Yeah, it sounded like it, didn't it? But the logo was. He wasn't on the stage. He wasn't on one of those main stages. But Javier from Argentina, just Rags mentioned him. Hopefully we'll have time to listen to a little bit of Javier. He was definitely there.
Yeah.
He's funny. He was funny.
Yeah, I've loaded that up. I'm just waiting for the advertisements to go through.
Yeah. So if you watch a little bit, because Klaus Schwab introduces him, then you could cut out and move to about 10 or 11 minutes in. Then he sort of, because he's quoting a lot of figures. He knows his shit, but it's probably a bit boring to listen to. But from about 10 or 11 minutes in, he gets stuck in a bit. So we can stop and start it if you want and talk about the various things.
Right, check that has come up. It has. Shout stop whenever you want me to stop.
Okay.
Oh, there's Klaus. I want a word with him. Motherfucker.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's for me a great honor to welcome Javier Milei. As you know, he's the freely elected president of Argentina. and it's actually your
Stop.
foreign country after you have.
Right.
Sorry, the way he worded that is like, well, he was a free elected prime minister, so we have to have him here. Did you notice that? It was like, we all know that this guy's not on the agenda, but
Yep.
he made that sort of that little caveat there, didn't he?
Yeah. He's prepping people for you're not necessarily going to like what this guy says.
That's it. Yeah. And sorry, mate, carry on then.
Right.
Been elected. First, congratulations for your election, and congratulations also to your sister who managed your election campaign. I think you sometimes people would say with more radical methods, but you introduce a new spirit to Argentina, making Argentina much more related to free enterprise, to entrepreneurial activities, also to bring Argentina back to the rule of law. So we have a very extraordinary person among us today. And of course, we are all eager to listen to you. And again, a very cordial welcome to the World Economic Forum.
Do you want me to skip the about 10 minutes, you say?
Right.
Good afternoon.
In a
Thank
minute,
you
in a
very
sec.
much.
Right.
Today, I'm here to tell you that the Western world is in danger. And it is endangered because those who are supposed to have to defend the values of the West are co-opted by a vision of the world that inexorably leads to socialism and thereby to poverty. Unfortunately, in recent decades, motivated by some well-meaning individuals willing to help others, and others motivated by the wish to belong to a privileged caste, the main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We're here to tell you that collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. Do believe me, no one better placed than us, Argentines, to testify to these 2 points. When we adopted the model of freedom back in 1860, in 35 years we became a leading world power. And when we embraced collectivism over the course of the last 100 years, we saw how our citizens...
Yeah, wind it on to about 11 minutes now.
Right, there's a 10:50.
Longer than citizens in repressed countries. Now, what is it that we mean when we talk about libertarianism? And let me quote the words of the greatest authority on freedom in Argentina, Professor Alberto Venegas Lidge Jr., who says that libertarianism is the unrestricted respect for the life project of others, based on the principle of non-aggression, in defense of the right to life, liberty, and property. Its fundamental institutions being private property, markets free from state intervention, free competition, the division of labor, and social cooperation, as part of which success is achieved only by serving others with goods of better quality or at a better price. In other words, capitalists, successful business people are social benefactors who, far from appropriating the wealth of others, contribute to the general well-being. Ultimately, a successful entrepreneur is a hero. And this is the model that we are advocating for the Argentina of the future, a model based on the fundamental principles of libertarianism, the defense of life, of freedom, and of property. Now, if free enterprise capitalism and economic freedom have proven to be extraordinary instruments to end poverty in the world, and we are now at the best time in the history of humanity, it is worth asking why I say that the West is endangered. And I say this precisely because in those of our countries that should defend the values of the free market, private property, and the other institutions of libertarianism, sectors of the political and economic establishment, some due to mistakes in their theoretical framework and others due to a greed for power are undermining the foundations of libertarianism, opening up the doors to socialism and potentially condemning us to poverty, misery, and stagnation. It should never be forgotten that socialism is always and everywhere an impoverishing phenomenon that has failed in all countries where it's been tried out. It's been a failure economically, socially, culturally, and it also murdered.
Sorry, I'm checking the comments, so it takes me about
All right, that's right.
10 seconds
That's
to get back to it.
Yeah, I love this one. Because he's recognising that what the World Economic Forum and what Agenda 21, Agenda 2, Agenda 30, and so on. What it really is a global communism, isn't it? It's global socialism. And he starts getting into this now that he's talking about. How the only way to lift these poor countries is not some sort of leveling out, and because what they want to make the West, the richer countries, poorer, and spread this money out in such a typical communist way. And he sort of points out the fact that we all know, I said, the fourth industrial revolution. Yeah, and he points out that the way to lift up from poverty and developing countries is to make sure they develop with a capitalist system, and he gets into that, and this is totally going against everything about this fourth industrial revolution. So I think we're going to play a little bit more as he sort of gets into it, and he gets into sort of feminism as well, which is quite funny. So you want to go a little bit more?
Yeah, I like the way he talks. For people saying that was a AI translation, it's not. That's the same type of translators that they have in the European Union and stuff. That's a person will have a English person, a French person, a German person. Given you choose the feed that you want, but it's a person doing it, and they will have had the speech before he gave it. So they've got time to translate it.
Just a point there, Budgie Burger, controlled opposition, perhaps. Well, we did sort of talk about that shortly before we started the stream, didn't we? Maybe we don't know, but if they're not controlling him very well, that's all I say. And unless he just like Vivek in America says all the right stuff, because he knows this is where possibly the political cultural wind is flowing at the moment.
Well, he closed like 51 departments in his first week.
Yeah. It looks like he's out of control if he's controlled. So I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt at the moment.
Yep. So he hasn't really been there long enough. Don't know, but at the minute he's saying and doing the right stuff.
Yeah, and Rags as well. Yeah, Milani was her name in Italy. Yeah, she's definitely turned out to be, a fake, definitely. But she said a lot of stuff before she got voted in. We never heard of this guy until he is voted in, so he is running the country. So hopefully, he's not the same as that bird in Italy.
All right, I'm going to hit this off again.
Over 100 million human beings. The essential problem in the West today is not just that we need to come to grips with those who, even after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the overwhelming empirical evidence continue to advocate for impoverishing socialism. But there's also our own leaders, thinkers, and academics who, relying on a misguided theoretical framework, undermine the fundamentals of the system that has given us the greatest expansion of wealth and prosperity in our history. The theoretical framework to which I refer is that of neoclassical economic theory, which designs a set of instruments that unwillingly or without meaning to ends up serving the intervention by the state, socialism, and social degradation. The problem with neoclassicals is that the model they fell in love with does not map reality, so they put down their mistakes to supposed market failures rather than reviewing the premises of the model. On the pretext of a supposed market failure, regulations are introduced which only create distortions in the price system, prevent economic calculus, and therefore also prevent saving, investment, and growth. This problem lies mainly in the fact that not even supposedly libertarian economists understand what the market is, because if they did understand, it would quickly be seen that it's impossible for there to be something along the lines of market failures. The market is not a mere graph describing a curve of supply and demand. The market is a mechanism for social cooperation where you voluntarily exchange ownership rights. Therefore, based on this definition, talking about a market failure is an oxymoron. There are no market failures. If transactions are voluntary, the only context in which there can be a market failure is if there is coercion. And the only one that is able to coerce generally is the state, which holds a monopoly on violence. Consequently, if someone considers that there is a market failure, I would suggest that they check to see if the state intervention involved. And if they find that that's not the case, I would suggest that they check again, because obviously there's a mistake. Market failures do not exist. An example of these so-called market failures described by the neoclassicals are the concentrated structures of the economy. However, without increasing returns to scale functions, whose counterpart are the concentrated structures of the economy, we couldn't possibly explain economic growth since the year 1800 until today. Isn't this interesting? Since the year 1800 onwards, with population multiplying by 8 or 9 times, per capita GDP grown by over 15 times. So there are growing returns, which took extreme poverty from 95% to 5%. However, the presence of growing returns involves concentrated structures, what we would call a monopoly. How come then that something that has generated so much well-being for the neoclassical theory is a market failure? Neoclassical economists think outside of the box. When the model fails, you shouldn't get angry with reality, but rather with the model and change it.
All right, do you want to stop?
The dilemma faced by...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of sort of labouring the point a little bit there and going over the same thing. But, you know, he's basically saying what's happened, you know, since the 1800s.
Yes.
And it's just clear. It's just clear. You know, how sort of wealthy countries become wealthy, the sort of capitalist system has succeeded. And, you know, there's obviously problems with it. But it's as if, okay, we know how well that works, so let's try communism instead. It's just bizarre, you know. So
I like what he's saying about it's observable that capitalism has lifted people out of poverty, and whenever these people think that the market's failed, that they're not looking at reality. They're looking at their model, and their model doesn't necessarily reflect what has actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you fast forward it right to nearly the end. There's this bit where he signs off. I think it's quite funny. I can't remember what he says, but just
Right. I'm going to go to here, and then you can tell me forward or back or what.
Free competition, free price systems. If you hinder trade, if you attack private property, the only possible fate is poverty. Therefore, in concluding, I would like to leave a message for all business people here and for those who are not here in person but are following from around the world. Do not be intimidated either by the political class or by parasites who live off the state. Do not surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges.
Nice.
You are social benefactors. You're heroes. You're the creators of the most extraordinary period of prosperity we've ever seen. Let no one tell you that your ambition is immoral. If you make money, it's because you offer a better product at a better price, thereby contributing to general well-being. Do not surrender to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonists of this story. And rest assured that as from today, Argentina is your staunch, unconditional ally. Thank you very much, and long live freedom. Damn it.
That.
Yeah, it is. That was yeah.
Yeah,
Dawn,
he's not just still alive, he's also kicking.
Oh, who's that?
Don Browning said, is he still alive?
Oh, right. I mean, he just gave him a lesson on economics there.
Yeah.
And, which these ideologues don't care because they know that they know how they know how to make money. They know how to make a country wealthy. They know how to make a country's people wealthy. It doesn't need this guy to come over from there. But ideologically, he's exactly what against what they want.
Just watch for the investment in the Argentina, because what he's just done here is told the businesses, come to Argentina, we're not going to fuck you, we're not going to cripple you with taxes, we're not going to cripple you with legislation. We're going to let you build shit here, and we're going to let you give our people jobs.
That's a really good point, and to full stop it at the end with a damn it.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
You know, and if you want to reach a business world and tell them that we're open for business, there's a place to do it.
Yeah, and what a platform to do it on, and I think I didn't really notice that the first time that I listened to it, but you're so right about that. That's why he's gone there. That's why he probably held back, with some of his criticisms anyway. But I thought it was pretty good. And like you say, it was a massive advert for Argentina, wasn't it? For knowing that that's going to be shown worldwide.
Yeah.
So he's not talking to those ideologues in that audience. He's talking to the world. He's talking for the whole trade.
The business leaders from across the world are there because they need to be there, because they need to find out what's coming down the pipe. And it wouldn't surprise you. It wouldn't surprise me if after that speech he had a lot of people saying, "Can we go have a wee meeting somewhere else to talk about this?" One of the things about being in Davos is, if you want to speak to the Chinese, if you want to speak to the Indians, if you want to speak to the Pakistanis, if you want to speak to people from any form of business or any country, they're there. So you can go have your wee sidebar with them, and you can do that in private. And nobody knows about it because you didn't have to fly to somewhere else we're both listed as being, because the cover is, well, why we're there? No, it was just there for Davos. In the same way that the manifesto for a political party gets thrashed out at their annual conference, where policies get thrashed out at conferences for this, that, and the other, because you've got all the people that's involved in it there. So, yeah, I think he's doing good work.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be Trump gets back in? You know, we all know about the issues with Trump. There are problems with him, but it's a similar kind of thing where he's trying to open the country up for business.
Well,
take trade away from China.
I don't know who would you rather have than Trump?
Well, no, exactly.
Yeah, I think Trump would be a lot more dangerous this time around, because he arrived in Washington as a businessman, not a politician. He had some strange ideas that because he was the president, whenever he gave people orders, that those orders would be carried out. Found out that's not the case. He had strange ideas that he could work with the Democrats. Found that's not the case. Thought that he would be treated fairly. Found out that's not the case. And if he does get in, he's going to be looking for recompense.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying that he's, it's going to be 4 years of revenge, and I hope it is. I really, really hope it is. That's I know might be said too much, but there's a lot of populist people getting in now. A lot of them aren't always doing what they're supposed to do. Like talking about the Italian girl. Yeah, get that. But I think if you just think about the general sort of change in direction of the pendulum, really, that's what I'm hoping is happening here, and not a full storm.
Yeah, there is definitely change. That's the one thing you can definitely take away, that it is moving. It is moving in our direction. Now, it's quite a large it's like a large ocean going vessel. Getting it turned and turned around is going to be a long, slow process, but we are seeing the beginning of it.
Yeah, I mean, it could take another 10, 15 years, really, if things are moving in the right direction.
Well,
before things get back to any kind of sort of normality that we might have thought that possibly the early 90s, where a lot of people talk about going back to that.
Have you noticed that the recruitment campaigns for our army have changed?
Yes. There's a little bit less talk about diversity and stuff now, isn't there? Because white British people I think same in America as well, isn't it? They're not signing up. They're not signing up anymore, or the levels are right down.
Oh, the bottom has fell out of it. We haven't hit our recruitment goals for like 4 years, and the same thing's happening in America, and the recruitment campaigns have changed. Now, what needs to happen is those levels need to stay as low as they are and get lower. until they make a decision that they need to change how they're going to run the army and stop with the left-wing political ideology.
Yeah, I mean, there was once a time, or for a long time, that the military forces in the UK were relying on working class people from mainly up north, a lot of Scotland, and this went on for years and years, and if you go telling sort of young working class people from in the sort of northern counties that they're no longer welcome, and of course the rich sort of middle class London types ain't sending their kids out to war, but we're relying on sort of poor people from.
The thing is, they took this liking to patriotic people.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they're not welcome.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to fight your war for you? Because
Exactly.
if you take out the patriotic people, you'll not be long having nobody. So but the numbers need to stay low to force that change.
That's right. That's it. And the sort of it is Lincoln set, and that the home counties, they ain't going to be letting their kids, go out and join the army, especially when there's so many things going on.
I'll tell you what I do know. The army families who have like lots of generations of soldiers, they're currently telling their kids, no, it's not your army anymore. Don't you join that.
Yeah.
That's happening in I know it's happening in Northern Ireland. I know it's happening in America. I'm guessing it's happening in Northern England and Scotland as well.
Yeah. Exactly. And who would you feel like fighting for this country right now?
It's gonna depend on who we're fighting and what they're doing. See, the army's no longer a good place for patriotic people.
Yeah, and that's been made clear.
Yeah, they've made that very clear. They are very worried about the mentality of their soldiers and their political beliefs and whatnot. So yeah, you can't join that type of an organization.
Yes, it's very interesting. Let's see what goes on in the next few years.
What I will say, what I have said for a very long time is the army feeds, clothes, and shelters and educates a hell of a lot of working class white men. And for that reason alone, it was very useful to the working class people. However, they are no longer welcome. And
that is true. That is true. It was a two-way street, wasn't it? But they were fodder, and it suited the military to to send out working class people to get killed. But it's also was a good career start. My brother, my oldest brother, was in the army and learned a lot from that. It sorted him out. Ended up being stationed in Germany. Ended up staying there, marrying a German girl, and his life changed around completely. He had no academic qualifications at school. Didn't go to college or university. I think he was in the army at 16. I think the earliest opportunity he could.
Like there's the amount of men that went in, did 6 years, came out with qualifications, particularly like driving heavy goods, industrial type stuff, type qualifications, and 10 grand in the bank is phenomenal. You know, because while you're in there, you're not you're not paying. Well, you sort of pay rent, but you don't. It's very discount. You have your fed, your sheltered, and your clothes, and you can gain yourself a nice good, a nice financial package while you're in there and come out with that. But it's no longer it's no longer a good place for them. They don't want them, and our people need to stop.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I know. I know. It's there's plenty ulster unionists that have been shot by the army. You know, that question's asked and answered, but our people need to stop joining until they have a total rethink about how they run that army. And when do the panels see a federal European army? It's already here. It's been here for quite a few years. It might not be there in name, but what's been very clear with Ukraine is that the British Army, American Army, the French, the German, Polish, Lithuanian, all those people all make joint decisions. We have a federal European army. We also have the foreign ministers don't work independently. The prime ministers don't work independently. And we currently have a federal European army. It's just not in that name. Also, we're changing how the parachute regiment works, how the Royal Marines work, how the RAF regiment works, in order that we can have our Ranger battalion to keep things the same as America and Europe. And yeah, there's lots of changes. We are pretty much in a federal European army now.
Are you all right for give us 2 minutes?
Yep.
Nice one.
Yep.
I'll be back in a second.
Not a problem. Globalism is indeed ancient. Yep, Rome. And there was empires before the Roman one, the Byzantines and stuff. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. Or the ones that tried to get back after they refused the job, very few accept. Yeah, we also had a thing where the soldiers that left the army because of vaccinations, it wasn't the clerks or the cooks, it was the trigger pullers that were leaving at great rates, and they're not coming back. In other news, it's finally stopped raining in Australia. I think Dawn's it back out their garden. Yes, I've seen a video of that. We had one ship seem to reverse and the another one. I think it's a case of we have too many ships fucking about and too small of a place, and everything's all getting on top of each other. So I'm just checking through the comments. And what else we're going to talk about? So, I don't know what you're going to get a diversity hire steering the ship, I think. People fuck up all the time. This is true. The Peterloo Massacre, 1819. People just out looking for their rights, and they decided to kill them. So there we go. So,
Right, back
right.
now. I just wonder if you got. I don't know if you have or not. Any insight into these those aeroplane panels that have been blowing out on those Boeings, the M9s or whatever they're called?
The 737 Air Max.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to take a wild guess on this. The aircraft, there's a couple of things. A, the aircraft wasn't built right in the first place. B, the aircraft wasn't serviced correctly. Or C, there was something not shut down, closed in properly by the crew.
They're sort of blaming it on loose bolts or something, but just is that possible?
Oh yes, that's very possible. That is 100% possible. What I don't know is what was it come off the door?
Well, what it was a panel, right? That could be a door if it wanted to be. So when it was manufactured, you had to hold it. But some airlines didn't want the door there, so they put a panel there.
Right, that's why we're getting the. Oh yes, that totally 100% could happen.
Well, I'm just wondering if a lot of this. Sorry to interrupt there. I wonder if a lot of this is to. We know that the sort of commercial flights, especially cheap flights, they're winding that down. You know, the average Joe is not going to be flying to, you know, it costs us 2 or 3 times a year anymore. Those days are gone. And I'm just wondering whether this is a way of just getting it into people's minds, just to put them off flying.
It's much more frightening than that, mate.
Right, go
it's
on.
Much more right. Okay, so 20 years ago, if you were in an aircraft factory and you were riveting or bolting in a panel, whenever you finished doing that, an inspector would come around with a torque wrench and measure X amount of bolts that are put in with the torque wrench and see the pressure that was on it or whatever. And then he would stamp the job off as being good and it would be allowed to go forward. Well, they don't do that anymore because they've removed 90% of the inspection. So the person does his job and then he decides whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, or she does it and decides who was good, bad, or indifferent. And it turns out very few people say I didn't do that job right. And that's why.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like sort of normal cost cutting, doesn't it? It's like who's responsible for quality control? Everybody is. You know,
so
that kind
of. Whenever you build an aircraft, whenever you buy an aircraft, there's a price for the aircraft. Let's say £1 million. right? This is a totally made up price. But your aircraft comes with a whole shitload of paperwork. And in that paperwork is all the bits where it's not even diversity, right? In that paperwork, there's all the parts that are almost right, probably do, but not as it's supposed to be in the drawing. And for every one of those they get £1,000 off the aircraft. These numbers are totally wrong, totally made up, but get that idea in your head, right? So every time that there's something that's not quite right, there's a discount in the aircraft. Now, in the aircraft industry worldwide, the aircraft companies were finding that they were making less money because of all these parts that were not quite right, but will do. And they come up with a fix for that. And their fix for that was to reduce the number of inspectors that could produce that bit of paper that says this part's not quite right.
I mean, there's kind of things been going on in the sort of motor industry and stuff like that for years,
Right.
but
yes,
like Streaky Bacon, like says, like everything is managed decline, and I just can't help thinking that there's a little bit of that involved as well. You know,
no, it's a removal of inspection in the aircraft industry.
so it's just sort of innocent cost cutting.
Yeah.
Quality control is elitist. Ludwig.
There was a manager from Boeing of a large plant, say 5,000 employees, was given a talk. The other aircraft industry people, and got the Q&A, and it says, right, how many people, and these numbers are made up, by the way, right? It says how many production people do you have in your site? He says 5,000. He says, the follow-up question was, how many inspectors do you have? He says 5,000.
Yeah.
Right, there's a bit of a silence. He says, every one of our employees inspects their own work and stamps it off.
Yeah.
Right. And then you wonder why Boeing aircraft are having bits fall off them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as the health and safety, where they say who's responsible for health and safety? Is it a health and safety officer? Say no, everybody's responsible for it.
Right.
Everybody's responsible for quality control. You know, it's yeah.
Right. I'll tell you who dictates all the health and safety stuff. The insurance company. So you've got a company. You're building you've got a big company and you're making sweetie mice, right? And you go along to your insurance company at the start of the year, want to insure my sweetie mice factory, and they say, certainly, sir, we'll insure you. That'll be £1 million, please. And the company owner says, right, I don't really want to give you £1 million for insurance. Says, right, okay, I'll work with you. What I want you to do is make everybody in your factory at all times wear steel toe cap boots, safety glasses, and a bump cap in their head. And he says, but there's a lot of our employees don't work anywhere that they could drop something on their foot. They're not working anywhere where there's things are flying about at speed, don't actually need safety glasses and bump caps. Says, that's okay, your insurance will be £1 million then, because we find that the majority of our claims are people have dropped something on their foot, some people have got something in their eye, or something or people have hit their head on something. If you put those measures in place and monitor it and prove to us that you're checking and making sure that people are doing it, whether they need it or not, we'll knock £100,000 off your insurance. So the next thing that happens is everybody, whether it's suitable for the job or not, has steel toe cap boots, safety glasses, and bump caps on all the time they're inside that factory. And then they go, right, but I still don't want to pay that much. It says, right, well, we find that a lot of our accidents are people falling off ladders. Right, okay. So you want 100,000 off? Take all your step ladders away. What? They can't fall off the ladders if they're not there. Take them away.
And on it goes, and on it goes. Yeah.
Right. So there's no actual proper health and safety involved in this. There's no risk assessment. It's how the insurance company sets their prices. Now, which is a bit maddening for someone like me that's done an e-boy in health and safety and know what's supposed to be done. What I will say for anybody that works in a factory or anything like that, your health and safety officer, his job is not to make the factory safer. His job is to reduce the possibility of court cases. That's what he's interested in, reducing court cases, not making the place safer. If you've got a good one, a union health and safety rep will be interested in actually making the place safer. Speak to those people. If you do have an accident, you go to your union health and safety rep before you go to the management. The union health and safety rep will help you, will assist you in how to fill in your accident form and figure out. And because if you've had an accident, you'll obviously be in shock. You'll not be totally aware of what happened. Your trained health and safety rep will be able to see the underlying causes of what happened, and you get that down on your accident form before it becomes a problem, before you get blamed on the accident which was caused by the company's negligence.
Yeah. Yeah, it all makes sense, and of course it's all all down to money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Money's what drives all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fucking maddening. And the other thing is, we get a lot of stories coming out about health and safety gone mad that didn't actually happen, in order to try to demonize health and safety and get it shut down. They want the big things that they don't want to do anything about the actual real risks. They just the big thing that we improved prior to health and safety was quality. How we did that was by measuring everything, right? So if you're making a toaster and the gap for putting your toast in had to be 8 inches deep, 4 inches long, 2 inches wide, and that's what fitted the slice of bread and made that toaster work. They started to measure all those things, and if it was inside, and they closed the parameters in, and they measured, and that's how they improved quality. So whenever they had going on their next thing, we're going to try to improve health and safety, they went, well, measuring everything worked for quality, so we'll measure things. So the things that they had to measure was steel toe cap boots, safety glasses, bump caps, heights of ladders, heights of step-up boxes, heights of all this stuff. And rather than looking for actual risks within the workplace. They started looking for things that they could measure.
A last play
Yeah.
of the track.
That's what I'm thinking. I'll get this scrolled back to the start before I actually put it up this time. That would help. And I'm going to drop the link in the. Yeah, and he's seen back and he's watched Backdraft twice. I'm going to put this up and I will drop the link for it in the chat. And then we'll do our goodbyes. What I will say is, Al, thank you very much for coming on this evening.
No problem. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, mate. It's really good, always informative and fun. Love reading the chat as well. It's brilliant.
Yep.
It's great fun.
I also want to say I have really enjoyed working with you and Justice on this. Well, the whole three of them. I've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, thank you very much.
We will get up to more mischief, I'm sure.
Yep. No, that's on the cards. Absolutely on the cards. So as things come along, and if you've got any ideas that you want to do a track about, and then you could preempt it, mate. And so you don't have to wait for us to say, "Oh, can you come up with something for this?" If you've got something that you really want to get off your chest and get written down, in a way, sort of like doing the music's the easy part. Really, it's getting the sort of the content, the message, and you do that so well.
Well, thank you very much. And right, I'm going to fire this up, and we'll get our last play. Here we go.
It's 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. As you will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me so wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices. You cook the hedgehog right? It tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I can even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Eating your bugs. You're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle country. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Own nothing and be happy? I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Own nothing and be happy? I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man, you got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you. Motherfucker.
This is the
got me talking. Why is the United Nations in charge of Stonehenge? Keeping me away from the stones? That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to the point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is the United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Museums of fucking Paran Mountain Range now owned by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the planning we did, so we hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We'll hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
Fuck it.
Okay, everybody. Al's been Al. I've been 42. You lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Thank you. Good night. God bless. See us all next week. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
See you later.